Hello everyone, myself Professor Amruta Savan. From today onwards, I will teach you the subject that is engineering graphics. So before seeing this video, please go through the syllabus of the engineering graphics. So the first module in our engineering graphics is Introduction to the Engineering Graphics. So in this Introduction to Engineering Graphics, we will see the what is drawing, what is engineering drawing, what is applications of engineering drawing, the instruments used in the engineering drawing, and the different types of lines used in engineering drawing. So what is drawing? Drawing is a graphical language that communicates ideas or any information from one mind to the another, or it may be defined as the graphical representation of any object or idea. Okay, so these are the two definitions of drawing. Now we will see what is engineering drawing. Before that, we will see for the preparation of drawing preparation. Drawing can be prepared by freehand method, by using the engineering instruments, or by using the computer programs. These three methods can be used for preparation of the drawings. Now we will see what is engineering drawing. Engineering drawing is a type of technical used to fully and clearly define the requirements, the requirements of the particular person, and to capture all the geometric features of products that may be dimensions for the engineering products. For example, if we have to draw engineering drawing of a aeroplane, we first have to get its dimensions and first have to draw it over the drawing sheet before the actual output, before preparing the actual model. Okay, this is nothing but the engineering drawing. Okay, see, we mentioned the dimensions of the engineering products. Now we will see the various applications of engineering drawing. So the first application is the engineering drawing is used for all manufacturing of automobiles. Before actually manufacturing the automobiles, first they design them by using either by drawing them over the drawing sheets, or by using various softwares in the computer, and then they do the final product. So first application of engineering drawing is the manufacturing of the all products. Okay, the second one is it is used in construction. Now what we civil engineers do, that we first draw the layout of the structure onto the drawing sheet, and then we implement it into the ground, onto the ground. So second one application of the engineering drawing is that the engineering drawing is used in construction. Then whatever we see is written down or drawn on the drawing sheet. Now the third application is it can be used for the construction of rockets, the missiles, the ACs. So before going to the final product, first they initially draw them, in which they draw the engineering drawing of them, in which they mention the dimensions of the parts or the components of the objects, and then they implement to get the final product. So These are the applications of engineering drawing. Now we will see the various instruments used in the engineering drawing. So drawing board is used, drawing sheet is used, mini drafter is used, then T-square, then compass, then divider, then set squares, then protractors, the French curves, pencils and eraser. So these all instruments are important and necessary while drawing any engineering drawing. So now we will see them in detail one by one. So first is the drawing board. Okay, drawing board is made up of a wooden board. Soft wood is used to, which is made up of a required dimensions. The dimensions of the drawing board are as per the size of the drawing sheet, so that it is made up of size, so that the size of the drawing sheet of a particular size. In general, we use A1 size sheets for drawing the engineering drawing. So the drawing board is designed in such a way that the drawing sheet will be placed properly over the drawing board. Okay. See, it is in rectangular shape. So we place the drawing sheet over the drawing board to draw the engineering drawing over the drawing sheet. Clear about drawing board? Now we will move towards the drawing sheets. Drawing sheet is not used to draw the engineering drawing, in which we draw the layout, we give the dimensions, we give the notations for the parts. Okay. So this drawing sheet is fixed to the drawing board by using clamps, plasters, then the paper holders. We engineers mainly use the clamps to clamp the drawing sheet to the drawing board. Clear about drawing sheet? Now we will move towards the main instrument, which is mini drafter, which is also called as drafting machine. Now we have seen the various instruments, other instruments, that is T-square, set squares, scales or protractors. So these separate instruments are used for the different, to draw the different parts, like to draw the straight lines, to draw the horizontal lines, to draw the angle between two lines. But this mini drafter can combine the uses of this T-square, set square, scales, protractors. Okay, so we will see how the mini drafters looks. See, this instrument is called as mini drafter. Okay, its one end is clamped by means of screw to the distant longer edge of the drawing board. This part of the mini drafter is clamped to the drawing board. Okay, this circular edge is called as the one end, which is clamped by means of the screw, and other end has an adjustable head. This adjustable head has two blades which are at a right angle in this figure to each other. This angle can be changed by losing the adjustable head. Okay, this mini drafter is used to draw the parallel lines or the vertical lines or horizontal lines. So usually we keep these two blades at a right angle to each other, but if we require a respective angle, then we can loosen the screw, adjustable screw, and we can change the angle between them. So the mini drafter is fixed to the drawing board as seen in this image, and we can move this end wherever we required in the sheet. Now we will see the next instrument, that is T-square. Now this T-square has two components. The black one is called as the stock and the pink one is called as the blade. Now in this image we can see that the black one is fixed to the drawing board. Support is taken of the black portion, and the pink one, that is the blade, is placed onto the drawing board. This T-square is generally used to draw the horizontal lines or to draw the angle, two lines at a right angle to each other. See, okay, we move this in this manner. We move this T-square in this manner. We can draw the horizontal lines. In this, we may observe that the pencil is held slightly inclined to the direction of line. Okay. Now, this point of the pencil should be very close to this edge. The edge at which the point of the pencil is very close is called as the working edge. Okay. So, lines are drawn by using this working edge. That working edge is called as the base. Okay, so this is the T-square. Now we will see the use of compass. Now we know the use of compass is to draw the circles. The compass has one end sharply edged and the other we insert the pencil. We are familiar with the compass. Now we will move towards the divider. Now we can see in this image that the divider has both the ends sharp. This divider is used to divide a line into number of equal parts, or if we have to transfer a measurement from one part to the another, divider is used. Okay. See, we can see it has a sharp edges. See, here this dimension is transferred over here. So this is the use of the divider. Now we will move toward the set square. Set square are used to draw lines making an angle with each other. See, these two lines can be drawn using the set square. So various objects have various angles like 30, 45, 60, 90. So to draw these angles, set square are used. Objects of different angles can be drawn using set square. So set square are of two types depending upon the angle. First one is when both the angles are 45 degree, and when second type of set square is in which angle is 30-60. So these two type of set square are used to draw lines between which make an angle with each other. Now we will see the protractor. Now we are familiar with protractor also. Now protractor, we can see it is in a semicircle shape. Now this edge of the protractor has some marking. Angles are marked. The center line, center point, and this horizontal line, it is used to measure the angles. This horizontal line, see, this is the semicircle shape. The edges are marked with the dimensions with 1 degree. 1 degree dimensions are there. This horizontal line is the line which represents 0 angle and 180 degree angle. The center of protractor is that. Now we will move toward the French curves. Now why these French curves are used? in engineering drawing, at some point we have to draw smooth curves. So smooth curves cannot be drawn by using compass or divider or the mini drafter. So for that French curves are used. These are the three type of French curves which are used. Mainly we use the bigger one. Okay. They are used to draw the curves, smooth curves like this. See, they are used to draw various type of curves. Okay. Now we will move toward the pencil. Now you may ask me why to use different type of pencils for engineering drawing. If we use our daily use pencil, the pencil, the projections of the pencil onto the paper gets smudged. So various type of pencils are used to draw the various component parts of the engineering drawing. So we will see those one by one. Okay. So the first one is, see, these are the types of pencils which are used in the engineering drawing. The H type of pencil is used for lettering only. For lettering, we should use H type of pencil. Now for sectional lines, to draw the sectional lines, center lines, hidden lines, dimension lines, 2H pencil is used. And for construction lines, 3H is used, and for boundary lines, HB pencil may be used. Okay. So this type, for various applications, various pencils are used, H, 2H, 3H and HB. Now we have completed the description of the various instruments which are used for the engineering drawing. Now we will see what different types of lines. Why we use different types of lines? So as to make the engineering drawing easily readable, the lines are, different types of lines are used. Now we will see them one by one. Depending upon the applications, there are numerous type of lines. So first one is the continuously thick, which is of size 0.5 mm, which can be illustrated as this. You can see this is called as the continuous thick line. What is its application? Its application is for the visible outlines. Whatever main part that we have to highlight should be of continuous thick parts. Then the second line is of the continuous thin one, which has the dimensions 0.2 mm. We can illustrate or distinguish the continuous thick and continuous thin by seeing these images. Now this continuous thin line is used for giving the dimensions to the line, dimensions to the image drawing. Sorry, the continuous thin line is used to give the dimensions to the drawing that we will draw on the drawing sheet. For the leader and giving the extensions, for construction lines, for hatching and revolved parts. Now we will see the third type, that is dash thin. That can be seen. See, dash thin line can be drawn as in this way. So it is used for hidden lines, the lines which are not necessary, which needs to be hidden. In that case, the line drawn is dashed thin. The fourth type of line is chain thin. So see, in chain thin we draw a large length line, then small, large, small, large. This type of line is called as chain thin. It is used to draw the center line, the line of symmetry, the locus line or the pitch circle. Now the fifth line is the chain thin with thick ends. You can see the chain thin with thick ends can be illustrated as this. At the edges, it is thick, and here they are thin. So, this type of line is used for the cutting planes. Now, we will move towards the next type, that is chain thick. See, chain thick can be illustrated as this. All the lines are thick in nature. Larger one, small, large, small, large. This is used to indicate the surface to which a special requirement is applied. For the special requirement, this is given. Then continuous thin free hands. It is used for irregular boundary lines, short break lines, and the last one is the continuous thin with zigzag. So it can be illustrated as this. And then its application is for the long breaking of lines, long break lines. These are the 8 type of lines which we will use in engineering drawing. So we will see a engineering drawing in which all the types of lines are used. So first type we have studied, that is the continuous thick, that is used for the visible outlines. See, this is nothing but the continuous thick line. Okay. Then we will see the dashed thin, that is also called as hidden lines. See, these dashed thin lines are called as hidden lines to show the hidden portion of the object. Then the chain thin, which is called as center line. It is used to draw the center line. So this is the chain thin line. Then the chain thin with thick ends, which is also called as cutting plane line. This line is used to cut the plane. While drawing the section, we cut the object. So to cut that object, to show the cutting of that object, the line which is used is called as chain thin with thick ends, and it can be seen as follows. Okay. Then this is the dimension lines. We will see how the dimensions are given to the drawing. The extension lines, these are the section lines, these are the leader lines, the center line, outline, hidden line, and the cutting plane line are the main lines. Now we will move towards the next point, that is dimensioning system. All of us know if we draw any diagram, we give the dimensions to that. Okay. In engineering drawing, there are certain rules which we have to follow while dimensioning any diagram, any engineering drawing. So, first rule is, as far as possible, dimension should not be placed outside the view. See, it should not be placed outside the view, it should be within the view. This is the view, so it should be within the view, it should not be away from the view, it should be close to the view. Okay, this is the first rule. This is the, for example, this is a view, this figure shows a view. So these are the dimensions given close to the view. Okay, then second rule is the dimensions should be taken from the visible outlines rather than from the hidden lines. See, in this figure we can see the continuous thick lines are nothing but the outlines. So these are the outlines, these are the projection lines, extension lines. right? So these dimensions are given with respect to this outlines, that are visible outlines. So second rule is only dimensions should be taken from this visible outlines. The third one is dimensioning to the center line should not be, the dimensions to the center line should be avoided. But there is an exception that when the center line passes through the center of the hole, dimension should be given. Okay. In general, if a center line is there, we should not provide dimension to that. But when there is a center of a hole, we can give dimension to that center line. Okay. The fourth rule is each drawing should use the same units of all dimensions. Okay. In the figure, see 1500, 3500, 4500, its unit is mm. So the unit of all the dimensions should be 1 only. It should not be, this is 1500 mm, then this should not be 350 centimeters. It should be in one dimension only. If all the dimensions are in mm, either it may be mm, meter or centimeter, but only single dimension should be used, but without showing the unit symbols. So we see these are in mm, but here we have not written 1500 mm. So the unit should not be mentioned. Keep in mind that you should only write the value, dimensions in numbers, not in units. Just at the corner we mention that the unit of the dimensions is this. But while showing, dimensioning them onto the figure, we just write the numbers. Numbers in single units, not in different units. Got it clear? Okay. So these are the rules. First rule was the dimension should be given by taking the reference of this visible outline. It should not be away from the figure, object or the section. Now the dimension should not be in number of units. It should be in the single unit, and the unit should not be mentioned in the figure. Okay. So in this figure, what type of lines are used? These are the leading lines or outlines or continuous thick lines. These lines are called as project lines. What are project lines? If we have to give the dimensions to the particular part of the figure, then we, with the reference of this outlines, visible outlines, we draw the project lines which are not visible. Okay, project lines. Then if we have to give dimension from this point to this point, we will take a reference of this line and we will draw the projection line here, and for this line we will draw the projection line here. So the line which is drawn in between to this projection lines, while giving the dimension from this point to this, the line drawn is called as dimension line. Now keep in mind that the projection line and the dimension line should not intersect with each other. It should not intersect with each other. Here it is perpendicular, it is not intersecting. Okay. Now keep in mind that the value of the dimension is written above the line. See, we can see that this is the dimension line. You should write the value of the dimension above this dimension line, over this dimension line, as seen in this figure. Clear about the dimensioning? See, these are the projection lines. This is the dimension lines. Either we can write dimension value of dimensions over this line or in between the line, between the dimension line, and on both the ends arrows should be marked this way. Arrowhead should be pointing towards the projection line. So this is the dimension text. This is the dimension lines with arrowheads project towards the projection lines. Projection lines are also called as extension lines. Okay. Each feature should be dimensioned once only on a diagram. No more dimensions than are necessary to define a part should be drawn on a drawing. Many students make the mistake that they give dimensions to each and every part of the drawing. It is not necessary or it is not needed to give dimensions to every part of the drawing. Only give the dimensions to the important parts so that the drawing will look sober. Okay. The third point is projections and dimension lines should be drawn as thin continuous lines. These projection lines and dimension lines should be drawn continuous thin lines, should be of continuous thin type. The projection line should be drawn perpendicular to the feature being dimensioned. Okay, so projection line should be perpendicular. Means what? Now we have to give dimension to this. So we have drawn the projection line which is perpendicular to this outline. So whenever necessary, they may be drawn obliquely but parallel to each other. However, they must be in contact with the feature. Now next point is projection lines and the dimension lines should not cross each other. I have just explained you this point that the projection lines and dimension lines should not cross each other. Okay. The center line or the outline of a part should not be used as a dimension line. Also we have seen that center line should or outline of any part should not be used as a dimension line. A separate line by using the projection line should be drawn to give the dimensions. Okay, but this center line can be used as projection lines. Means if we have to give dimension to the circle, we have to give dimension of a radius of a circle in that drawing, then we can use the center line as a projection line also. Okay, this statement tells us that the center line can be used in place of the projection line. Again we will revise the points which are in the dimensioning system. First we have seen dimension should be placed outside the view. See, we should not write the dimensions inside the view. We should give dimensions outside the view. Then with the help of projection lines, dimensions are given. Either we can write the dimension names in middle as seen in the figure, or in this way, or we can write above this line. Okay, then these are the projection lines or the extension lines, or we can draw arrows like this and we can give dimension, basic dimension to this. Got it clear? So see how the radius is given. The radius of circle is dimensioned here. From the center and line is drawn, and then horizontal line is drawn, and then it is given r dot 75, that is this must be radius. And keep in mind that dimensions should be in 1 unit only, and we should not write the units in the diagram drawings. Okay, here about the dimensioning systems, there are number of ways in writing the dimensions, giving the dimensions. Either we can write the dimensions above the dimension line, or we can write in this way, or we can write in this way. Okay, and the radius and diameter of the circle can be shown in this way. Okay, clear about the dimensioning system?